heal her guard when she has Divine Force, right? So every time she uses a Divine Force move, she heals 10%. If she uses the other ones that like flash blue, those ones take 10%, but with the naturally with the passive heal on guard restoration, it can be a little bit more difficult sometimes with the Divine Force moves for Gro to break Cassandra's guard.
And it is also important to note that Linkorz is a known Gro player. He knows Gro pretty well, and it just so happens that Icychains has been learning Cassandra as of late.
Yeah, Cassandra's definitely a solid character for a lot of people to pick up, and going in with the strings on the 2-2K is a very, very great approach tool for Cassandra. It's you can do a run forward low that's a string.
So it looks like the idea is that even though Icychains is definitely known for being pretty nutty, especially in these kinds of situations, Link is going to rely on the better frames that his character has, and it looks like he's ducking a lot, because it is important to note that a lot of the kind of pressure that Gro relies on does kind of come from highs. Especially if you have a wall rising move like Cass's Shield Bash, it's going to be pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, it can be really frustrating for characters that rely on hides as a large part of their offense. It's a very limiting move, and since it's a tech crouch move, it'll oftentimes counter hit them out of it if she gets that counter hit launch. Online low, he held it.
The Linkorz 20 low.
Yeah, he stood back up into it.
Yeah.
That's a Linkorz. I would block that offline.
Yes, that is 100% how he would say it and what he would say.
Exactly. Ooh, great wall rising B though. It can maintain the pressure. Cassandra is so good at doing it, and that clash working in her favor.
I definitely appreciate the fact that Link is finally realizing where he is and what kind of moves he has at his disposal, and is going for Cassandra 1A.
Oh, for sure. It's a pulse on, hit low.
The meter got stolen.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. We've got 2 bars to none at this point. Chances are, yeah, definitely pretty heavily in the lead for Icychains at the moment, just in terms of resources. Ooh, nice!
Divine Force is pretty much like a, it's similar to a Nightmare Terror Charge. It's like a one use of a Soul Charge move. Or a quote-unquote Soul Charge move.
And a lot of really solid blocking from Link, but even so, having a tough time with this whole guard gauge thing. But it looks like he's, Bro sucks.
And actually, so that Divine Force move, I think healed Linkorz's guard just enough to survive that move on block.
Yeah, but buff Gro though.
Hey.
You have to admit.
That's the Evo 2020, man.
Like, imagine getting up, and the only vertical that that you have at your disposal that's going to be fast enough can't hit somebody who's just standing there.
It's a solid unfortunate.
It is a solid unfortunate. It's true.
I mean, what else can you say? Should have done horizontal. Like,
yeah, you can't though, because the horizontal would be a high.
Well,
hey, Arturo, can you mute your Discord? It's interesting because we get like occasional bits and pieces of game audio.
Yes.
Icychains, is this a troll? This feels like a troll.
What's going on?
This is just
So to prepare for Evo 2020, Icychains has decided to go for his cast of the movie 2001.
I could just invoke the rules myself, but Linkorz can also just say I'm not playing this.
Blood, flesh, and souls.
I mean,
he said in the chat, "I love you, Icy."
I know, and if
yeah, let's see if
I have to let him.
Yeah, if he's willing to play it, then like, hey.
Well, no, though. This is definitely illegal, no matter what Link says.
Yeah,
like it's over.
I'm gonna actually refer to what I wrote because I'm trying to remember how I phrased it. Okay, so if a custom is too visually disruptive, please do not use it. If your opponent is using a customization you find visually disruptive or hard to see, please let the tournament user know. So
he has to let you know.
Right. This is definitely Like this is against the rules.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
if someone
there's a difference between having a visually disruptive costume inadvertently and one that's specifically built to be visually disruptive. And I mean, I don't mean to slam Icychains. I think he knows perfectly well what he's doing, and I'm sure he doesn't have any real problem with it. I am curious to see if Link's going to be able to pull this out.
I feel like Link should get this victory regardless of...
Yeah, I mean, he does, but I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to pull this out.
Yeah, we'll see it.
Because it can be very difficult to figure out what Gro is doing, due to the fact that he has this like natural kind of like bug-like carapace around his thong, and so it's difficult to understand if he's crouching or doing anything at all. So let's see. Yeah.
All right. And a lot of moves that Gro does are like revolve around him, kind of like spinning.
Yeah,
well,
it's true.
Like,
yeah.
approaching forward, so this can actually hide some of the animation. It looks kind of like some plate armor, like from like the Gundam, like from like Die Names or something, where it has like the floating armor that like goes around it.
Yeah,
like
sure.
That.
I thought of it as kind of like an insect kind of thing.
Well, we went two different places.
Yeah, I can totally see either way. Nice sidestep. That I would argue that the soul charge stuff is like one of the main things that the carapace does not necessarily help in terms of masking the movement, because it's pretty flamboyant, we can say. All right, so we've got 2 and 2 rounds. We've got 1 bar for each, and we've got a red gauge for Gro. So let's see if he ends up pulling this out anyway.
Oh, and the 6K. Yeah, the 6K hold on regular hit, and it's still going to the animation.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky that he was able to get that shield bash, because one of the main ways that Link could have lost is if he potentially got like a ring out. Is that RI gonna work? No, it's too early.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was interesting.
This just goes to show that like this kind of costume is necessary just for Gro to compete, and does not end up getting the punish. But now he's got a red guard gauge. This is going to be tough, and kudos to Link.
Yeah. Not letting the visual disruption get to him. Still going to be able to secure it.
But that does really go to show, like, Gro sucks.
Well,
Icychains' response is, in context, my decision was perfectly morally acceptable, GG's friend, and I'm going to be completely honest, I agree with him.
Is it just due to your opinions on